What's going on, YouTube? Addicted to Madden. Welcome to the channel. This isn't gonna be just like every other channel. There's a lot of commentary channels out there. You got Mr. Golden Sports, 80 Cards, Cookie Boy, and those are some of my favorite ones. And they upload their games and they do commentary over them. And this is sort of like that. I mean, I'm obviously not as good at that as they are. They're a little bit more entertaining than I am, but what I want to do with this channel is for it to be more of like a helpful kind of channel. I mean, I am going to post games and there is going to be some commentary, but there's going to be a theme to these games. Like the theme will be, something that could probably help you out in your game. In the first video that I posted, the one that had to deal with the update that's crashing people's systems and you can't even play any games if you're logged on. And of course, in that one, I explain how you can actually, you can bypass that. You can play your games even if you are online, but you have to do a little trick first. So check that video out if you haven't checked that out already. And I mean, it's too bad that EA hasn't fixed that yet. The game's been out for a couple months and still haven't fixed it, but there is a trick that you can do. So check that video out if you still are having problems with that. But this game here, like I said, there's gonna be a theme to each game that I put up. And if you saw in the title, this is the max coverage game. The guy that I was playing against, he's using the Saints, I'm using the Dolphins. He was doing max coverage the whole game. And of course, as you know, another name for max coverage, I call it max coverage, but FAG D, and the FAG is the acronym for, some people say it's first and goal, and other people say it's fourth and goal. Fourth and goal makes a little bit more sense to me, so that's what I call it. But I'm going to call it max coverage, just so there's no confusion. And I actually do a pretty good job against it. Now, spoiler alert, I don't win this game, but it wasn't because of his max coverage D. I mean, I moved the ball against it pretty well, as you've already seen on my first couple drives. Actually, this is the second drive right now. And that wasn't really giving me problems now. That pick right there, that was just, he did a good job of baiting me, and he picked that off. And that's actually the only pick that I throw. There's a desperation pick that I throw at the end of the game, but other than that, I did pretty well against his defense. And I will also sometimes use max coverage. I'm definitely not a hater of it. It actually has its uses. There's a time and a place for it. I believe it's not my base defense, but I will use it. I'll go to it. One of the things I like about it is it's a way that the defense can actually milk the clock. For instance, if it's the end of the game or maybe the end of the half, and you want him to use the clock. Let's say he has no timeouts left, and you want him to use up a lot of time on the clock, then max coverage would do exactly that. And sometimes it takes 10 seconds. I've even seen one play that took 20 seconds to actually finally complete. And that's good for the defense. All that time that it takes off the clock. So a lot of people, they hate on the defense, but it's strategic. I mean, just because you don't know how to beat it doesn't mean that it's cheesy. Again, it's not my base defense, but I will go to it. There are times when I do go to it, or depending on what kind of a formation you're calling, I'll go to it. Like if somebody calls like a snugs formation, then I usually will do some sort of a kind of like a max coverage type of defense, maybe like a hybrid man max coverage defense. Or if someone uses an empty backfield and then they go 5 wide or something, sometimes I'll do that as well. But again, I don't have anything against it if somebody wants to use it. And as you can see, I actually in the red zone, I absolutely use it. Like I said, where its original name came from, fourth and goal. I mean, when you're fourth and goal, then you're in the red zone. And in the red zone, I actually think it's stupid to play man coverage, and a lot of people do that. But it's dumb to do that. When it's fourth and goal, you want to play zone. And in fact, if you want to play max coverage, I mean, then you've got 9 people covering just that little area of field, and it makes it very hard to try and pass on that. So I'm definitely not against max coverage, and that right there is pretty surgical pass. But again, the way you beat it, it's just like any other zone. The one that he was using was a cover 3 max coverage. So as soon as the way you beat any kind of cover 3 zone is hit the seams, like you saw right there. You hit the seams. And then any zone in general, you can beat by hitting the sidelines as well. So you have somebody streaking up the sideline, and then have another person doing a wheel route around him, and and then that's how you attack that. Also, draw plays work against that. and you'll see that I did that a couple times here. And even screens to an extent can work. And again, I'm doing a little bit of it just because this guy was just too good. He was, I mean, I started off doing regular man coverage and he was killing that. And so I actually had to go to this defense. I actually had to do this. And I had to give him a taste of his own medicine, but it didn't work anyways. He was just really good at what he was doing. So, but you know, so it's a tie game. We're getting to halftime, and I had, like I said, I had a chance to win this game. That first pick that I threw, you know, imagine if I'd have scored, I would be up right now going into the half. And I believe he gets the ball. But anyway, so it's a tie score. It's a brand new game. I have a chance to win this. And I mean, again, I end up not winning it. But it wasn't because of his max coverage defense. And he was just really good. I was not able to stop him ever in this game. I didn't cause any punts. And I don't think I caused any field goals either. No, actually, there was one drive. It might be this drive here where actually he does end up settling for a field goal. But I was just unable to really stop him. He was really, really, really good. And I mean, I think man coverage, just I kept staying in man coverage against this guy, and I should have gone to just a zone defense, maybe a zone, either max coverage defense or maybe some zone blitzes. But there's another touchdown by him, and so he's up 21-14. It's my drive, and this is where I start doing some of the draws. You know, and draws, you know, they may give you 5 yards, but that's okay. I'll take that. And like I said, you hit the seams. You know, I think that was a wheel route to that guy. But you know, hitting the seams and you know, wheel routes, that's how you beat max coverage and some draw plays. And I mean, he stayed in this the whole game. And I mean, here, that's another wheel route right there. And you can give up big plays against, you know, max coverage. So for those of you that are struggling against that kind of defense, you know, just watch this video and kind of, you can kind of study it if you want. And at that time, he blitzed. He caught me off guard. He sent a blitz at me. He didn't do it that often, but when he did it, you know, it was effective. He did it when I wasn't expecting it, so I pretty much kind of figured out what his defense was, and we got another tie game here. So it's 21-21, and he just, you know, he's doing his thing. He pretty much ran the same play. He would always have that running back come out to the little V route, which I was having a lot of trouble with. I mean, it's a very effective route, and it's just really hard to stop. Right there, he actually trips over his own offensive lineman. You don't see that too often, but you know, it is what it is. And he did his snugs there, and usually against snugs I'll do kind of like some sort of like a max coverage defense. I'll usually put my defensive ends on a purple route and then have them take it, because usually when people do snugs, you know, it's a route that's going to be going outward. You know, someone's either doing a corner route or just a straight out. So I put my ends, my defensive ends, on purple routes so they can kind of take that away, or at least make him, you know, think about not doing that. But you know, the thing about man, when you do man kind of max coverage, now that should have been a pick. Actually, that was a bad decision by me, and he actually should have picked that off, but I was lucky that he didn't. But you know, when you're doing a man, you know, max coverage, if you don't get him right away, which you probably won't, then the field's gonna be wide open, which is why, you know, a man max coverage is not a good idea. You want to use the zone one if you're going to use it at all. And you saw me hit him with that wheel route, which gave me a lot of yardage. And over here I hit him right there, but he ends up dropping that, and that was, you know, I understand that drop when he got hit immediately. That right there was a bad throw. And you know, I saw a lot of 4th downs, more than I'm used to seeing. And this right here was probably the best catch that I've ever seen. It's definitely the best catch in this game. I was extremely lucky. And this drive here, that was a bad pass right there. This drive, he stops me on the 1. I get so close, and that basically ends up ending the game. Right here, I try to throw this screen pass, which he just doesn't even catch at all. And right there, this cross pattern, I hit him, but I just couldn't get him in. I couldn't get him into the end zone, and then that was it. And 28-21, I haven't stopped him at all, and it's not about to start now. And that's it. I end up not beating this guy, but it wasn't because of his max coverage. I probably should have done a smart route on that cross in, because he crossed in at the 1, and I should have made it where he crosses in right at the line, and then that would have been a touchdown, and then it would be a tie game, and you know, I'd still be in this thing right now. and then I would eventually milk the clock. I mean, I would probably let him score and then milk the clock and try to get in at the end. And then if I really, you know, with because I wasn't stopping him against a guy like this, I would probably go ahead and just go for 2 at the end, you know, just to see if I can get the win. Because I mean, he was so good. You know, I had a lot of respect for this guy. I couldn't stop him, and there's no reason to think that in overtime that I would have actually all of a sudden figured out how to stop him. So probably would have gone for 2. Like I probably would have tried to get a touchdown to end the game and then go for 2. And then, you know, if I get it, great. If I don't get it, oh well. But you know, so here he just runs it, and this game is pretty much wrapping up here. But again, so you know that this is what my channel is going to be about. There's the message there. I already sent him a message saying good game, and he sent it back to me saying good game. Again, he was a good player. I had a lot of respect for him. I don't mind losing to good players, but again, the you know, the max coverage, and that was a desperation throw right there. And but the max coverage is beatable, so don't be intimidated by it. But you know, this video I think shows how you can beat it. So you know, keep watching this video and keep looking out for some other videos. I'm gonna have some other videos soon, and like I said, there's gonna be a theme to all of them.